Welcome to The Explainer. So glad you're joining us today. If you're a recent mechanical engineering grad looking to land that first real job, well, you are in exactly the right place. Today, we're breaking down the CADCAMBRIDGE Advanced Postgraduate Program in Product and Tool Design. We're going to look at exactly how this program takes that hard-earned piece of paper, your degree, and transforms it into a seriously sought-after, industry-ready resume. Let's get right into it.
Let's just be real for a second. You've just spent 4 years grinding away at thermodynamics, fluid mechanics, taking countless exams to finally get that mechanical engineering degree. You start firing off applications and boom, you hit a massive wall, the whole experience required paradox, right? How are you supposed to have industry experience if you can't even get an entry-level job? Look, that frustration is completely normal. Having academic knowledge is awesome, but hiring managers, they're looking for someone who can jump right in and add value on day one. So the real question is, are you actually industry ready?
We've got to close a pretty massive gap here. On one side, you have college theory. This is your textbook knowledge. It's totally vital. It's your foundation. But let's face it, it's often a bit abstract. On the other side, we have industry CAD and CAE skills. This is the stuff employers are actually hiring for right now. They don't just want to know if you can calculate the theoretical stress on a beam. They want to know, hey, can you actually model that component in CAD software? Can you run a proper thermal or structural analysis on it using CAE tools? Bridging this exact gap is the whole philosophy behind the CADCAMBRIDGE program we're unpacking today.
So here is our blueprint for bridging that gap. We'll be covering 1. Core technical skills, 2. Mentorship and practice, 3. Future engineering technologies, 4. Professional communication, and 5. Placement and industry connections. All right, Section 1. Core technical skills, bridging the gap. Here's the deal. You really can't just be a generalist if you want to get hired quickly. You need domain-specific knowledge. This program dives into plastics, injection mold design, casting, sheet metal, BIW, which is body in white, super relevant for the auto industry, and overall product design. By mastering these exact manufacturing processes, you're not just going to interviews saying, hey, I'm a mechanical engineer. You're saying, I am an engineer who knows exactly how to design a plastic component for injection molding. That is a highly specific, high-paying skill that literally separates you from the rest of the pack.
But, just knowing the domain isn't quite enough. Your designs actually have to work in the real world. And that brings us to GD&T, geometric dimensioning and tolerancing, along with a really deep understanding of engineering materials. Getting instruction on these core fundamentals, that's the absolute secret sauce here. Because in college, parts always fit together perfectly in your head, right? But in reality, manufacturing has variations. GD&T is basically the language of technical design accuracy. When you can sit across from a recruiter and show that your designs account for real-world manufacturing tolerances, you are proving your competence. You're speaking their language.
And you execute that language using the right tools. Getting hands-on training with CAD and CAE software is exactly what prepares you for specific industry roles. We're talking about mastering advanced CAD tools for 3D modeling, and crucially, CAE software like Ansys. The curriculum covers pre-processing, solution, and post-processing for static structural, thermal, modal, and contact analysis. You're not just drawing pretty pictures anymore. You're simulating real-world physics to see if your design will actually hold up. And honestly, that is exactly what an employer is eager to pay for. Moving right along to Section 2, Mentorship and Practice, building your portfolio. Now, the program guarantees that training will be given by industrial veterans having more than 15 years of industrial experience. I seriously cannot overstate how important this is for a recent grad. You aren't just learning from someone who memorized the software manual, you are rapidly accelerating your growth by learning directly from seasoned industry professionals. These are people who know exactly what the job demands because they've been in the trenches doing it for over a decade and a half. They're going to teach you the industry shortcuts, the common pitfalls, and those practical workarounds that you will never, ever find in a textbook.
So where do you actually practice those insider secrets? In the lab. The program offers a lab facility. This is basically your sandbox. The exercises aren't just theoretical busywork. They're based on actual manufacturing processes for machined, forged, and plastic components. Having this round-the-clock lab access is an incredible benefit. It's the perfect environment to practice and, most importantly, build an absolute killer portfolio of hands-on projects for your resume. Because when you walk into an interview, you won't just hand over a piece of paper. You'll open up a portfolio of tangible, hands-on projects that you've built from scratch.
Okay, Section 3, Future Engineering Technologies, Future-Proofing Your Career.
The curriculum here does something really smart. It maps traditional concepts directly to modern innovations.
We see traditional manufacturing evolving into 3D printing. We see internal combustion engine vehicles shifting toward electric vehicles, or EVs. And we see standard data analysis upgrading to artificial intelligence in mechanical engineering. By getting exposure to these modern technologies, you aren't just learning some cool buzzwords. These are essential survival skills. It tells a hiring manager that you're not only ready for the job today, but you've got the foundation to help lead their company into the innovations of the next decade. Next up, Section 4, Professional Communication, Selling Your Skills.
All right, here is the harsh truth. All of those technical skills and future-proof knowledge we just talked about, they mean absolutely nothing if you can't communicate your value to a hiring manager. To solve this, the program structures a pre-interview pipeline. It starts with group discussions to build up your collaborative communication, then presentation skills, because let's face it, you'll be presenting your designs to stakeholders all the time. Next up are mock interviews. This is huge. It's where you sharpen your professional communication skills in a low-stakes environment. And finally, booster sessions, right before your actual interview, to make sure you're completely dialed in. This pipeline guarantees you can clearly and confidently sell your skills.
Finally, Section 5, Placement and Industry Connections, Securing Your Dream Job. The program offers 100% placement assistance. Talk about the ultimate reassurance for a recent grad, right? They aren't just teaching you a bunch of stuff and then pushing you out the door to fend for yourself. The training facility itself acts as a direct, supported pipeline, bridging the gap straight into the industry. Their success is literally tied to your success in getting hired. This placement support is a massive game changer for your job prospects. And you can see this isn't just some empty promise. We've got an extensive list of hiring partners here, and we're talking top-tier companies. Sandvigetia, Man Truck and Bus, Johnson Controls, Magnus Dyer, Knorr Bremse, AS Soft. The list just goes on. These aren't just names on a slide. They tangibly demonstrate the vast network of industry connections this program is built up. When you join a program like this, you're tapping into a warm network of hiring managers who already know and trust the quality of the graduates coming out of it. And here is the concrete proof. The program proudly displays congratulations to a massive roster of successfully placed students from various engineering colleges all across the region. From Pune, Nashik, Kolhapur, Jaugan, you name it. This represents hundreds of graduates who started exactly where you might be right this second, holding a degree but lacking that critical industry experience. They used this curriculum, built their portfolios, nailed those mock interviews, and actually secured their roles in the engineering industry. So, we've arrived at the end of this explainer. The tools, the 15-year veteran mentorship, the 24/7 lab access, those crucial industry connections, the whole blueprint is laid out right in front of you. You've seen the huge gap between textbook theory and industry demand, and now you've seen exactly how to bridge it. So the only question left for the recent engineering grad watching this right now is this. Are you ready to take that next step, utilize these resources, and completely mold your future? Thank you so much for joining me today. Keep learning, keep building, and I'll see you in the next explainer.